Welcome back. You're already feeling the Biden inflation, but are you ready for the Biden economy's coming stagflation? That's when prices go up, but the economy stops growing. The Wall Street Journal says it is coming. The mounting regulatory burden of Mr. Biden's executive orders, his regulators' open hostility towards America's economic system, and the return to progressive-era antitrust enforcement will stifle growth. All the ingredients will be present to turn the current inflation into stagflation. So what does that mean for you? Let's welcome in the CEO of Canary LLC, one of the largest privately owned oil service companies in the U.S. Dan Eberhart's back with us. Dan, great to see you.
Thanks. Great to see you, too.
Also want to mention your book, The Switch, America's Global Energy Renaissance. Obviously, energy is such a huge part of the inflation we're feeling right now, Dan. And, you know, if it weren't bad enough with inflation, stagflation, here we go.
Yeah, so I think what's happened is the Biden administration has gone on a spending spree. Right now, we're on a bit of a sugar high with all this stimulus money, which is money that we've borrowed. But once that wears off and more of these Biden regulations start taking effect, the weight on the economy is going to push us down to the stagflation. So we're going to have rising costs and a flat or declining economy. And Biden and the Democrats are going to own this going into the midterms. And it's bad for them as a party, but it's bad for us as Americans, and it's bad for the middle class.
You know, when you tell Democrats, like, oh, look, the economy is kind of shaky right now, I'm not so sure about what I should do personally. Oh, what do you mean? The stock market's at an all-time high. You know, job openings. We've never seen anything like this before in terms of a labor market, in terms of demand for workers here. But obviously, I mean, there are a lot of mixed signals we're getting from this economy specifically. And you and I both know the stock market isn't the best sign of the overall health of our economic system.
Well, really, it's about Main Street. Look, I was out shopping the other day with some of my relatives, and they were aghast at the increase in the price of a Christmas tree. Everyone knows that, you know, look, gasoline prices at the pump are 60% higher than they were when Biden took office. The federal spending is run amok. There's labor shortages, so labor costs are going up. If you've got a small business or a medium-sized business, what you've got to pay folks to work for you and with you is going up. You know, insurance costs for my business are going up a lot next year. So prices and costs are going up, up, and up. And if the economy is not growing, if your wages are increasing slower than the cost of the goods are going up, you're getting a pay decrease. And that's because of the Biden administration's what I think are reckless spending policies.
It even comes from former Obama administration officials like Steve Ratner and Larry Summers. They point right back to this initial spending that the Biden administration instituted here. And I wanted to ask you, too, I mean, I went to fill up yesterday, and I was actually kind of shocked at the reverse. And what I'm seeing, the reverse sticker shock in the oil prices. It was down like 20 cents from the previous time that I had filled up. But Reuters is saying that we do expect oil prices to continue to drop. And they are saying it's because of the Omicron variant. I mean, that would signal that a lot of, you know, OPEC and other industry leaders seem to think this Omicron variant is going to have a serious dent on our global economy. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah. Look. So we're having a dent in prices right now. And Biden went to Kansas City and gave the speech where he took credit for it. But what really happened is the market overreacted in a downward fashion as a result of the Omicron variant right after Thanksgiving. And so that's the blip that you're seeing in prices right now. But look at the fundamentals. You know, all these macroeconomic policies coming out of the administration are inflationary, will push energy costs higher. OPEC is supposed to add 400,000 barrels a day, and they're struggling to do it because some of these countries have underinvested in the past year and a half. And so that's going to put further upward pressure on oil prices. And the economy in general is doing pretty well from an activity standpoint. So all these things, I think, are a toxic brew that's going to push energy costs up. And this doesn't even include some of Biden's policies like killing the Keystone Pipeline, banning fracking on federal land either.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're just in the early months of winter here. You know, heating oil is obviously going to be an issue for a lot of America as we get into the coldest months of winter here. So many things to be concerned about when it comes to energy consumption and production. Dan Eberhart, great to see you. Thanks so much.